I think we can start.
Okay. So, hello there. Can you see us? Can you hear us? That's the question. Yes. Okay. We're live. Hello, everybody. We'll wait a few minutes, 3-4 minutes for everybody to gather. Everybody can receive their notification. Make sure that they will make it to the live. So a few minutes before we start this show. How are you, Piotr? Are you nervous?
Yeah, a little bit, but also excited. We have a lot of topics that we want to cover, so I'm so excited to go through them.
Yeah. I see we have people from Presta community as well. Cool. Welcome, guys. Welcome, everybody. Everybody's welcome. Three more minutes. We'll be good to go.
Yeah, 2 minutes and we can start, I think.
In a minute? Okay, we can start in a minute then. Yeah, I see the more and people are coming, so. To zaczynamy? Czy jeszcze czekamy sekundę?
Yeah, we can start.
Okay, we can start. So, hello everyone. Welcome to our stream. Today, me and Piotr will talk a little bit, but not really a little bit, because there have been a lot of topics about what happened last year and about what we're planning for 2026. There will be room for questions at the end, of course. So if you have any questions, just please wait with them till the end. There are some of people from our organization in the chat, so obviously they can answer your questions right now. Also, we will be talking about few stuff that are either in our store, or there are links to the repository. So when we will be talking about something like a certain plugin or some part, we will send the link to the chat so you can check it out if you like. But before we officially start, we should probably introduce ourselves. So I'll start by introducing my co-host, Piotr. Welcome, Piotr. Welcome to the live in your new role. Maybe tell us a little bit about yourself. Introduce yourself to everyone.
Yeah, hello everyone. Again, I'm really happy to be here with you today and talk to you, especially because I know how much we delivered last year. So my name is Piotr Szymański, and I work as a developer advocate and evangelist at Sylius. I have around 5 years backend experience, including 2 years directly working with Sylius as a product. On a daily basis, I support development and everything around programming. But from time to time, I also represent the company during events and during conferences. In my free time, I enjoy cooking, traveling, gaming, traveling especially with my dog, as you see on the picture. And I think that's all about me. We can go to introduce Przemek.
The dog doesn't seem so happy that he's traveling with you, at least on this picture. Okay, I'll introduce myself. Hi, my name is Przemysław, Przemek, the shorter version. I work as growth and partnership lead at Sylius. I'm here for almost 6 years in April, so it's been a while, all ups and downs, recently ups only. In general, I have 14 years in technical sales-related roles. I'm in charge of everything sales and marketing oriented in Sylius, events as well. So there's a chance that I've already met with some of you. If not, I would be happy to do it this year. In my spare time, I love hiking in the mountains, as you can see in the picture, endurance sports, cooking, and classic rock. Okay, the introduction is done. Now you know who we are. So let's go to the summary of 2025. The first on our long road today is the documentation. What we did for the documentation part, Piotr, can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, last year we significantly improved our documentation and we started treat it as a technical product. From developer perspective, the goal was straightforward, honestly. We wanted to make docs more developer oriented, clearer, and easier to navigate. And we wanted to make documentation that supports real world work. We improved a lot of areas, but the most important for us was were installing and configuring plugins, customizing Sylius correctly, extending the platform with adding new functionalities, but also working with a migration to Sylius 2, especially because there are important changes between Sylius 1 and Sylius 2. So the updated docs explain all those differences and migration is much easier. And I think that's all about documentation.
Yeah, it's useful. I think if I remember correctly, we also moved the documentation to Gitbook, right? And also used AI to help people navigate through the documentation. So right now, if you're a new user, it's clearer to find something, right?
Yeah, the starting point is much easier to achieve. I mean, it's really intuitive to find information, and the development process is quicker.
Yeah, I think from our perspective, we decided to do that because we see more and more interest in Sylius. We see new people coming, especially now. I hope there will be more people using Sylius. So it's important for us to give them the best experience possible, trying to find something or learn something in the documentation, right?
Yeah, and we wanted to limit a little bit this need to dive into the vendor directory to look for how it's done in Sylius itself. We wanted to document almost everything what we've done and why it's done in this way. So this is how it works now.
Yeah. Another part, what we did, we actually did it exactly 12 months ago because it was introduced in January last year. We've introduced the Key Contributors program. Well, why we did it? Because previously, if you were a contributor and you wanted to be an official contributor, there was a core team, but the rules, how you can become a part of the core team were pretty blurry. So right now we've decided to introduce this program to show how easily and obviously how clearly what you need to do to become part of the key contributors. And a lot of new people joined us. So that was the main reason from my perspective, having people who are working daily basis on Sylius becoming a contributor and hearing their feedback is super important. What's your experience with the Key Contributor program, Piotr?
Yeah, I think this program is amazing and I really appreciate their work. Key contributors are the most engaged community members which contribute consistently to Sylius ecosystem and environment. But for now, they help also us with implementations, issue analysis, reviews, and I can say more experienced eyes are involved early. And because of it, the feedback loop is much faster. from my perspective.
Yeah, this is super necessary. Okay, so hopefully more new contributors will join. Obviously, thank you, our current contributors, for doing what you're doing. Yeah, let's move to the next part. So another part was events, and a lot of those events. And previously, on previous years, we usually did events only in Europe, but this time we also managed to change that. So we did 20 industry events last year across Europe. I can tell you from my perspective, working here for a long time, this is a huge number. If I remember correctly, like 3 or 4 years ago, if we did 3, that was great. But right now, doing 20, this is amazing, and it's shown progress. How many people want to create Sylius meetups, be part of this community? So this is a huge step for us. We did also a community meetup in the United States. Hopefully, this is the beginning of something new and also expanding to other markets. But obviously, the events are important for us to build Sylius brands. More and more people know about Sylius already. So this is great. It's great to see people approaching us and the events. And previously, I had to explain like what Sylius is, but right now there are more and more people saying, "Hey, I know Sylius. I used it for some project, or I consider using it," and also gathering feedback from vendors, community members, developers, everyone. This is great, and there will definitely be more events in the future. This is one of my favorite parts of what I do at Sylius, like seeing people that you're hanging out on the calls during week, and then you can see them in person and chat with them and hear their experiences. Piotr, you are also part of a few events, because we did also a few technical events like SymphonyCon or API PlatformCon. With your new role, you will be part of the more events. So what was your experience and what you're looking for the future events right now?
Yeah, Przemek, I need to agree with you in 100%. That it's amazing feeling during those events when you see people that's actually using Sylius in the real world, and it's amazing feeling. I really like it. From a technical perspective, the value is mainly direct and immediate feedback, in my opinion. At some events, we presented our products, for example, Elesto, which we'll talk a little bit here later. But that was useful not only as a showcase, but also as a feedback tool. We could find information, what's clear, what's confusing, what's missing, and what we can improve. So this feedback is really good for us. After each event, we review feedback internally. We discuss about what we should add, what we should remove, and also I need to say, for developers, these events are also an opportunity to learn from also other platforms and bring good ideas back to Sylius. So we can come back from every event with really big amount of new experiences and new ideas.
Yeah, exactly. Learning is also a big part of it. What can I say? We will be doing a lot of events. Hopefully, we can beat that 20 events this year, and we can do more. If you look at our website, I'm sure Patrick will send you the link about the events. We already have some events planned, but we will plan more. So all I can say is join us, have a chat with us. That's great experience. And if you're new to the community, you want to meet people, those events are also the best option to start working with Sylius. A lot of us are there, our developers are there, people from the board are there as well, so you can chat with them and learn from them as well. So yeah, more events next year for sure. But also coming to the big numbers, we did quite a lot of releases last year, Piotr, right? Do you want to talk about it a little bit more in the details?
Yeah, that's right. As it's shown on the slide, Sylius is actively maintained and continuously developed. Around 40 tags in 2025 reflect consistent ongoing work on the Sylius core. From technical perspective, this is not only about adding new features. a big part of it are changes that align Sylius with modern standard, best practices, and up-to-date technologies, meaning some dependency upgrades, some refactors, some stability improvements, and compatibility work. But this approach is how we keep technical debt under control, I think. Instead of allowing technical debt to accumulate until it blocks something like some development or adding new features, we have everything up to date, and because of this, we are not blocked by outdated architecture or outdated code base.
That's definitely important to keep the product fresh and without the technical debt as possible. Okay, moving to the next part. So we talked about releases, but there are also some informations about some releases that will no longer continue, which is Sylius 1.14. The maintenance for the version 1.14 ended. There will be no more regular bug fixes from now on. What is important, we will keep security support until end of this year, so until December 2026. If you're still an older version of Sylius, this year it's a very good year to consider migrating to 2.0, start migrating to 2.0. You can reach out to us. We're offering audits. They'll help you navigate for the migration. It's a very good moment for that. Piotrek, on the technical side, what does it change for our users?
Yeah, as you said, we strongly encourage projects still running on 1.14 to plan migration to Sylius 2 because it's much more stable, faster, and easier to extend. I think it's the best moment for now. To support this transition, as you said, we offer audits and upgrade assessments. This helps teams identify what needs to be done, actually, because some changes sometimes are not feasible at once and require some knowledge. So we can support and give this approach how to upgrade project with minimal risk. But also to support this transition, we introduce Legacy Bridge plugin. This plugin allows team to reuse existing templates from Sylius 1, and everything is much faster because we don't need to switch into the new tweak structure. So technically, it reduces the blocker for many migration and lowers the amount of time. And of course, it's more cost effective from my perspective.
Yeah, definitely. As Piotr said, sometimes, especially if you have a huge store, such migration could be a little bit overwhelming for you, don't know where to start. And our audits, their goal is to present you with at least 2 or 3 routes of migration, like what can be done, possibly, like what are the routes of migration, maybe migrating parts of your store, sometimes rewriting everything. So if you're a little bit lost, we're happy to help there as well. Okay, now sticking to the technical stuff and moving to some internal changes. So also at the beginning of the last year, I think it was February, if I remember correctly, we had a big change in the dev team. We hired new CTO, Szymon Skowroński. What we can tell about him. So maybe I'll give a little bit of who Szymon is, then I can talk a little bit how it's working with him from the business perspective, and then you can tell Piotr how it affected the dev team. So Szymon actually knew Paweł, the founder of Sylius, and Szymon was actually one of the first Sylius contributors back in the day when we were starting Sylius. So this is a cool story and kind of a circle for Szymon to get back to something he supported at the beginning. Szymon is very well known in the PHP community in Poland. He had huge experience in delivering big projects in the e-commerce, but not only in the e-commerce in Poland. So from my perspective, working with him, what changed for us is that he brought more swiftness to the dev team. So right now we can adapt a little bit faster to the business needs. Also, he is a developer, but he worked for a lot of commercial projects, so he knows how business operates and how technology works. So from my experience, this partnership is working very well for sales and development. We did a lot of cool stuff we will mention later on, but definitely a great addition. Piotrek, what changed for you? What's your opinion on that?
From my perspective, his arrival had a real impact on how we work and how we approach long-term development. But also he improves atmosphere in the team. His experience, but also personality is really valuable for our team. And I think his experience and expectations are also connected with this friendly atmosphere which he provides. I would say this change, it also improves development efficiency. Because of him, we can move faster because priorities are clearer. But also there's more focus on architecture and sustainability. And there is fewer short-term compromises, I would say. So, yeah.
Yeah, Szymon helps really well facilitate how Mikołaj sees business, so he can translate his business ideas to the product, and also our feedback from customers to the product as well. So, yeah, and as Piotrek said, his biggest advantage is that he's a funny guy. So that's cool as well.
For now, he works as a translator between business and technical team.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, now moving a little bit more to the business part and our partner ecosystem. So we reached almost 100 partners this year, which is a huge achievement. When I started, we had around 20-30 partners at the beginning. So right now, having around 100 partners, hopefully we can breach that number this year. This is huge for us. And it helped us expand our presence across new markets because, for example, last year we managed to have the first partner in Sweden. It's guys from the commerce. Also, we had the first partner in Latvia, which is Zenis. So for us, this is also, obviously, we're very strong in the French market, but also seeing Sylius being present in other markets, this is extremely important for us, and seeing how we grow, how more and more companies want to work with us and want to offer Sylius. The same for the technical companies. So payment gateways, PIMs, other systems, they want to have Sylius as part of their infrastructure, part of their ecosystem. So another sign after the meetups that we're growing, we're getting more and more popular. So if you want to join us, this is a very good moment to do so, because do it before the hype train will miss you, because I think this year we'll definitely breach the number of 100 partners. So yeah. And if you'd like to learn more about partner program, feel free to drop us an email to me, to Mark, or Emil. We'll be happy to chat with you in our spare time. Okay, so what is more, we also spend a lot of time on our academy and on Sylius course. So we added, and by we, I actually mean one person, which is Gracian, who's the main Sylius coach, and he's responsible for the academy right now. So we have updated our course and added new materials regarding Sylius 2.0, to make the onboarding easier for new developers and to bring new knowledge to them. We also introduced a certification to make sure that the developers that the customers are hiring can be trusted because they have their Sylius papers, let's call them. Piotr, I'll give you voice to you because this is more technical stuff as well. What's your perspective on that and why it's good?
Yeah, first of all, I think those courses are refreshed and updated. Technically, the content now reflects the latest best practices and focuses on Sylius 2 actually. There is modern architecture, recommended patterns, and real project workflows. As you said, with certification, it works as a technical proof that developer understand Sylius and can work according to accepted standards. And from my perspective, it's concrete signal of knowledge and practical skill of this developer. Also, you said it's created by Gracjan Józefczyk. He has really big knowledge about Sylius. And he is one of our key contributors. So those courses are created by person which is really involved and engaged into Sylius ecosystem.
Yeah, and he also worked in a lot of commercial projects, so he knows how Sylius behaves on production as well, and knows various scenarios that can happen on a project. And you can see a lot of, if you're on our Slack, if not, you should definitely join. But if you're on Slack, you can see that Gracjan is very much present at the support channel and then only answering people questions and trying to help them. So shout out to him. And as we said, I don't think there's a better person to create academia at the moment and lead it. Also, we plan to do more stuff for the Academy in 2026. I can already tell you that. So keep your fingers crossed and watch us because there will be more news regarding that in the future. So what we maintained last year and why. So we'll be covering right now what plugins that we took over, what plugins that we changed, what we updated. Starting from CMS plugin. CMS is one of the most mentioned plugins when it comes to Sylius. Like, what CMS should I use? There's a reason why I decided to organize whole discussion panel during the SyliusCon between one of the most popular CMSs. You can see it on our YouTube. I think it's already uploaded there. So if you're interested what CMS you should use, you should check that presentation out. But also we decided to bring the content management plugin to us and maintain it. Piotr, why we decided to do it from the technical perspective, because I already covered the business one.
Yeah, as you said, we was taken over this plugin. Then we unified and refactored this plugin to align fully with Sylius standards. Technically, the focus was on make it easier to extend and maintain. We improved also internal structure, made it simpler to inject content into pages, thanks to introduced in Sylius 2.0 tweak hooks. So now it's much easier to inject the data and content in almost every page that we want. Also, we improved the usability and content management becomes more intuitive. And what is important to mention, we know there are external CMS options like Zulu, like Storyblock and community extensions. But the goal here was not to compete with them. The goal was to provide a solid baseline plugin for projects that need predictable content management without introducing an entire and full external integration complexity. So now CMS plugin becomes a stable foundation from my perspective.
Yeah, this is great what you told. I see it pretty similarly. So this is a baseline. This is a starter. If you have your typical B2C store and you need a basic CMS, you can start with this. We can also mention that this was one of the most downloadable plugin out there. It was downloaded over 1 million times over past years. So this plugin is super popular. But if you're looking for something more robust, more customization, Zulu, Storyblock, or other solutions are great for that. But still, it's a great starter. So another plugin was Wishlist and Product Bundle. Piotr.
Wishlist plugin and Product Bundle is similar case as with CMS plugin. We taken over and aligned to Sylius standards for quality and long-term maintainability. We also add support for Sylius 2, of course, to each of those plugins. But what is important to mention, we fixed issues that wishlist duplicate. In the plugin there were issues with wishlist duplication, where wishlists were being created too frequently in situations where they shouldn't. So the internal logic was improved to make it more predictable and stable. And about product bundle, it's the same. We align to product bundle to current standards. I think that's all. Of course, product bundles are the very practical feature and often used in production to increase order value. So it was critical for us to refactor also this plugin.
Yeah, and obviously we also updated those plugins to the newest version of Sylius. So there was a good opportunity. Introducing 2.0, it was a good opportunity to do so as well. Okay, now we're moving to other key plugins, but this time from outside companies. But those plugins, both of them, those are payment plugins for our both strategic partners, Molly and Adian. Now both of those plugins are handled by Sylius. So we're maintaining, updating those plugins, adding new features. Well, we talked with both of those providers, and we've decided that this is the best way how we can provide the best experience for the users, because who knows Sylius better than us, obviously. But what is more, we can keep it fast because we know what we're planning in the sprints. We know what the changes will be in the current versions. So this way we can implement newest Sylius features as well, but also we can implement newest Molly and Adian features for our users. Both of those plugins are part of the installation template, the same as PayPal, so they're optional, not mandatory. And what I can add from the business perspective, that using those plugins, if you're a merchant and you're using Molly on Adian, it's important for us if you're using the official gateways, because this way you can help gather funds for the open source, right? Because we have commissions from those plugins, and those plugins help us build other features. Like all money we get from those, it's reinvested into the open source. So yeah, if you're using any of those or you're considering what payment gateway should you use, I can recommend those two and PayPal as well, because it helps us a lot. Piotrek, your take on taking over plugins, because I know there was a lot of work with that.
Yeah, there was a lot of work with that, but mostly because we started maintaining it internally. So we wanted to, I would a little bit repeat myself from previous slides, but we wanted to make it consistent with Sylius Core and refactor it. But also we improved a lot of areas in payment flows, like refunds, state handling, stability, and developer experience. Also, we upgraded documentation and integration quality were also improved, for example, because of introducing test application concept. But I think we can move to the next slide, and I will talk about it a little bit later on test application slide.
Okay, so what we released in the product last year. So let's move on forward. Plugins, class, and test application. Piotr.
Yes, last year we focused on simplifying both creation and maintenance of plugins, because historically plugin development meant a little bit repeating the same setup work again and again. and we wanted to simplify it a little bit. And now the plugin skeleton gives a standard base structure to start for plugin without recreating a boilerplate. But the biggest shift here is the test application concept. Test application concept is ready-to-use testing setup that lives in the vendor directory, and because of that, it does not require ongoing maintenance from plugin authors. So instead of maintaining two things, this plugin logic and custom test application, now everything is standardized and shared in vendor directory. And this significantly improves maintainability because there is less duplicated work. There is fewer things to keep in sync during upgrades. And now it's clearer structured for development and long-term support. And most of the plugins which we mentioned earlier and which we will mention later also include this test application concept.
Yeah. So again, being consistent and unifying the standards for a lot of plugins, right?
Right.
Okay. To the next part, FrontWing. So why we decided to create our React connector from business perspective, I can tell you that a lot of people also asked about what front end should we use with Sylius, and React was mentioned a lot. And the team decided to react to that. So Piotr, what you did there?
Yeah, I think FrontWing was important for teams that needed modern front-end workflows, dynamic UIs, and wanted to make a headless first development. So this is designed for them. It's a designed headless architecture, and from my perspective, now if you would like to create your project in headless option, you can start working on this foundation, and you can just immediately focus on customizing things instead of rewriting everything from scratch. So it's a solid base to start working on headless option for Sylius.
Again, this is the motive of a lot of our work that we did last year. So to help you implement Sylius projects faster, right?
That's right.
Okay. What is a Stored Wizard tool for quick demos? I think this is a little bit self-explanatory. Maybe I can start a little bit about it because this is also came kind of from the business side of Sylius. So the goal of this tool is to help build dedicated demos. Right now, with the use of AI, for example, you need to create a demo for a dedicated store that is selling fashion or that is selling agricultural products. So the Store Wizard tool, it allows you to create demo that's dedicated for a certain type of store and fill it with the images of the products or with customer logo if you upload the customer logo. So you can show your customer a perspective how their Sylius store would or could potentially look like. So for us, it's great. Dedicated demos are always nice. Maybe Piotr, you can tell a little bit about it, how it looked from the dev perspective, working on it. So
yeah, from dev perspective, it combines a little bit fixture generation, data creation, and environment setup into one streamlined process. It also uses AI to generate fixtures, realistic data, and it supports deploying our demos locally or if we prepare to online accessible environments. It's especially useful for pre-sales and product presentations, as you said, because with a few clicks you can prepare demo which include relevant product, basic theming, and predefined set of plugins also. Configured through a simple interface. In this case, it's a website. So also the key value is speed and accessibility, because even non-technical user can immediately prepare a working demo without deep setup knowledge. So that's cool.
Yeah, if you want to build a proof of concept for client, you don't need to spend a lot of hours of your developers and time for your creative people from front end. You can just use that, and it's not going to be perfect, and it's not going to be exactly tailored for the client's needs, but it can help you show how it could potentially look like and save you a lot of time and resources. So yeah, to the next part, which is MCP server plugin, a integration layer with the AI. So we were actually one of the first, if not the first company that adopted Model Context Protocol, which allows you to connect Sylius directly to the MCP server. So we see that obviously introduction of the AI, and maybe not introduction, but growth of the AI over the last year shifted a lot of stuff in terms of development, but also in terms of shopping habits. So how people are shopping right now and what tools they're using for that. So for us, swift development and swift option to adapt to the needs of the market and how it changes, it's very important, because if you're not doing that, you're either stagnating or actually dying. So we've decided to go through with it, and you can for sure expect more stuff in terms of that for the future with us, because we already are working on other stuff that are related to this. But Piotr, maybe what you can say from your perspective on working with it. What's your experience? And yeah.
I think, first of all, I would explain a little bit what is the MCP server plugin. It's a plugin which prepares a Sylius store to work with AI as I would say, first-class participant of the system. Technically, it acts as an integration layer between AI models and the store to perform controlled operations through well-defined boundaries. So the important part is to say that it's those interactions remain safe and predictable. AI is not directly hacking the system; it's calling structured actions in this case. But it opens possibilities for conversational commerce, intelligent sales support, and selective automation. Also here, I think it's worth to mention that we are, lastly, Google announced UCP. So stay tuned, because we already work on it, and we will inform you what happened with that in the next days.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I was talking about when I said we're already working on more stuff related to this. Okay, now to my part, kind of my part, mostly focused on business. So new Sylius Plus modules, we obviously have an open source model that it's super important for us, and we wouldn't be there without it. But we also have a paid product that helps us grow and helps us hire new people, new devs, and organize more events. So we did quite a lot of stuff in it this year. As I said, we worked really close with Shimon and with the dev team, and I'll speak about it in the details right now. But before I go through the plugins, I can tell you what our shift in terms of development and in terms of the target looked like it. So for over a year, we saw that there's a huge need for e-commerce, B2B e-commerce platforms. There isn't that much platforms that can fill those needs other than being custom platforms created for the customers. Because in B2B, the flows of the checkout or the flows of the purchase are quite customizable, and one store can have different needs than the other one, and you need to require a lot of customization. So Sylius shines when it comes to customization. So we thought that we are the perfect solution for that, and we decided to pursue that and add more features and more functionalities focused in B2B. I can tell you already that it was the right decision, because We won a lot of projects where Sylius was picked for the B2B shops. We'll definitely be working on that part next year as well. So I firmly believe that Sylius can be, or maybe already is, the best e-commerce B2B platform out there. And I'll show you what we did to achieve that goal or to work towards that goal. So the first plugin is a request for quotation plugin. This is actually my favorite plugin that we created this year, or Plus module that we created this year. It was created mostly for the B2B, from need of B2B clients. So this plugin allows you to basically negotiate or control the quotation flow inside Sylius. So for example, your customer is calling you and saying, hey, I would like to order something, or they dropped you an email. They would like to order something. And for example, they're asking you that, hey, if I order more of those stuff, can you give me a custom price? Or they don't have access to the computer and they would like to have they have dedicated pricing, like dedicated discounts, and they would like to have a dedicated offer based on something. So right now, the customer can add product to the cart and ask for the quote, and also they can communicate with an admin who will be responsible for that, and also salesperson responsible for the shop. They can also create a quote for a client. They can pick their email, and they can present them offer, which they can see that offer in their account. So this plugin basically allows you for the negotiation and better options for quotation and more flexible quotation. So why it's my favorite plugin? Because that plugin started quite small. It was only, at the beginning, it was only possible to for a customer to add products to the cart and then to ask for a quote. But that plugin is a very good example of how we worked very closely with the dev team, because we brought a lot of feedback and we said, hey, maybe we can give option also to the admin to create offers for customers. Also, another step was editing the offer. So at the beginning, it was only fixed offer for what customer picked. Then we changed it to be able to add the stuff to the cart. So this plugin came very long way from the beginning, how it looked like. Already a few customers are using it. So I like it as a great example of a cooperation between both of the teams. I talked for a lot of time. So Piotr, can you give us how it looked on the dev perspective as well, or how the plugin operates from the technical point of view?
Yeah, you mentioned almost everything about the RFQ plugin, but I can say again that we improved quality standards. We added Sylius 2 support. Also, we improved areas like conversation, offer creation, extensibility were improved. So now plugin is easier to adapt to different business needs and the custom workflows. As you said, we add new features like creating RFQ as an admin, and also from the product page, negotiation flow were improved. So mostly you mentioned about everything which we've done. So as a result, this plugin is easier to extend and supports real B2B quotation process inside Sylius.
Yeah, but what I meant by asking you is like your tech perspective. Was it hard to create that plugin? Did it took you a lot of time to create that plugin? Like from a technical point of view, was it that complex, or implementing all those changes, or do you have an insight on that part other than the features?
I think the evolution was on this plugin noticeable. I mean, because we start with totally different approaches at first,
Yeah.
and then after feedback, we evaluate this plugin. We refactored a lot of things, and we changed the requirements. So that was difficult, because when you start with some requirements, and after developing the plugin, those requirements change, then it's difficult to roll back your previous decisions which you needed to make. But I think it's a really good plugin for now, and I really like working in that structure, because I know someone is using it, and because of that we got this feedback. So it's amazing for my perspective that we could improve it for our clients.
Yeah, exactly. Another part is a product configurator, which also a lot of companies are mentioning that they're using Sylius for example, furniture stores. So like places when you need to pick a product from a lot of options, so add a lot of options to the product and customize it, whether it be adding text to the product, for example, if it's a business card, or if you're creating a product such as dedicated wooden desk that you have to decide how you want to configure it and customize it. So this plugin was also necessary. I know, Piotr, that you worked on that plugin quite a lot. So
Yeah,
I'll give a voice to you.
Yeah, it designed for cases like adding custom text, names, personalized elements. So some printed goods, gift cards made to order products. That was the goal, to add opportunity to create something like this. But another goal was to add personalization without variant explosion. Instead of creating hundreds of variants, the customer configures the product during the purchase flow by selecting options, add-ons, and providing input like text, and everything is stored in cart and in order item. So it's performed, and a single product can be configured dynamically, and the configuration is it's now much simpler. A lot of companies wanted to, and I know this is done in this way, that they created a lot of variants with different configuration. Now it will be much easier.
Yeah, having less variants sometimes is good, especially for your performance. So definitely. Moving forward, so we're going to move to the biggest project, on one of the two biggest projects that we did last year. So I already gave you a lot of context in terms of why we focused on B2B, what we did in terms of B2B, so adding more features, like polishing a lot of features that we also had for our B2B. So what should we do? So what would be the next step? So we've decided that we're going to create a project accelerator and also use it as our demo to show that the B2B store, first of all, doesn't have to be ugly. It doesn't have to look like it was made 25 years ago. And also it can be extremely fast and pleasant to navigate. So that's how we created Elesto, which is a B2B project accelerator. It still acts and navigates like a Sylius Plus module. It's just an accelerator that you can still customize, change, extend in any way. But basically, some Plus modules integrated together with a dedicated front end. So again, you can have a faster implementation of your Sylius project, and you don't have to go for a SaaS system because it's going to be faster. You can still have a fast implementation with the freedom of customizing it further. I highly encourage you to check it out to see the demo, or I'll encourage you even harder to reach out to us and book a demo with me, Mark, or Emil. So folks from sales, we would be happy to navigate and show you how Elesto works and what we did there. Piotr, I know the Elesto was also a lot of work. We also gave you a lot of feedback from the customers, so we also changed a little bit. Like, what's your experience working on it? And yeah, how it looked like from the tech perspective.
Yeah. First of all, Elesto was created to demonstrate how Sylius project should be built in practice, following platform standards and recommended architectural patterns, but directly for B2B use case. It showcases multiple plugins working together in a consistent way, so we could check it out in practice how our plugin works. And from developer perspective, we learned a lot and we noticed some mistakes that we made in our plugins. So we had opportunity to add improvements to our plugins because of work on Elesto. Now I think Elesto has a representative role because teams can see how to structure a project, how to integrate the plugins or customize functionality. Everything, of course, coherent with Sylius standard. And what I can say more. As you said, we have there almost, I think, more than 100,000 of products. So also it shows very good performance, which is important for real B2B. And it can be treated as a starting point.
Yeah, again, it's a starter, it's a booster. If it fills all your needs, obviously you don't have to customize it, but we heavily recommend you to customize it, to change it to extent however you want. Yeah, what you said is also important, that right now we have a lot of people who worked for customers and build Sylius projects, but for some of us, it brought even more experience into how you should build B2B stores, right? So right now we know more how Sylius handles as a regular store for the B2B, so we can bring that experience to our plugins and adjust them as well. So definitely. And we did, and since Elesto was and still is quite a success, and people are very much interested in it, we've decided to do the same with our marketplace. So we create Dafré, which actually is live today. So the team finished working on it today during the sprint. So it's live. You can check it out as well. I highly encourage you to do so. Also to book a demo with us. It's similar to Elesto, but for a marketplace. So again, a pack of Plus plugins with the centerpiece being the marketplace. What we did there, compared to Elesto, we also revamped our marketplace plugin. So we tweaked a lot of stuff there to adapt it better to the current needs, because that plugin didn't receive any updates in a while. So we decided to treat that opportunity, to treat that as an opportunity to do so, and to make these changes. It looks gorgeous again. So kudos to the front-end team and to the designers. Yeah, Piotr, voice to you for the technical part of it.
Yeah, Dafré is similar to Elesto, but focused on the marketplace use case. Maybe because I talk a little bit about how it works with Elesto, so totally the same is here. Like, we wanted to install and integrate all our plugins which fits to marketplace use case and to multi-vendor requirements, to make a consistent and scalable project. But what was difficult from developer perspective, switching contexts after Elesto, because there we had business to business concept. Now on Dafré there is kind of different. There are vendors which can sell their products. Architecture of products are different. There we have product drafts, which we need to remember if we change something in the product, then we need to also change something in the product draft created by vendor. So this context switch was the most difficult part of working on Dafré.
Yeah, definitely. Marketplaces and B2B are quite kind of different animals. I would say, well, Also, we see that compared to other marketplace solution, it's quite hard to find an affordable marketplace, to start a affordable marketplace without investing a lot of euros or hundreds of thousands of euros. So also, Dafré is a great starter if you're looking for an affordable marketplace to check it out if that model is for you, or maybe you're already selling B2C and want to expand to the marketplace. So compared to platforms like Miracle, it's way cheaper. Okay, so finally, we're moving towards the end, and obviously, definitely the biggest news and the biggest achievement of the last year. And one of the biggest, actually, like announcements that I've seen in the world of e-commerce was what we announced before Christmas is the acquisition of a PrestaShop. So together, Sylius, Beatbuck, and Cyberfrogs acquired PrestaShop, which is a huge milestone for us. I mean, as I said, I'm working 6 years at Sylius, so I'm one of the 3 people that are here for the longest period of time, and we remember what it was like 6 years ago. So the PrestaShop was a point that we looked at it as a what we want to do in the future in terms of when we want to be. So the fact that we acquired PrestaShop, a Polish company acquiring French company, this is huge news for us. This is definitely something that will help us a lot in terms of also visibility for Sylius. So a huge news. Right now, we're still waiting for the European Commission to make the acquisition official, but it will happen. What I can tell you from the Sylius perspective, because I think a lot of you will have some questions. A lot of you already reach out to us, but the Sylius will stay as it is. It's still going to be a separate company, so we will be working on making the platform the best as possible. Obviously, we will share experience with Presta and the other way around. We want to learn from each other, but the platforms will stay apart. What I can say to people who are here from Presta or are wondering what will happen to Presta. So when Nico and Damian took over Sylius a while ago, there were also a lot of people like asking what's going to happen with Sylius, how it's going to be, how it's going to change, what it's going to change for me. So I can tell you that it's going to be rather evolution than revolution. As you can see, the Sylius is doing very, very well. So if you're a Presta user or a Presta community member, or agency, the best is yet to come for you as well, and expect Presta to become a better product soon. When the acquisition is going to be made legally official, we'll definitely share more vision for that, and Nico and Damian will share their plans for the solution as well. So this is it on this topic. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the roadmap, what we're planning next. So this is this stuff will happen between 3 and 6 months of what we're planning right now. So I can tell you that the first on the list is subscriptions. We planned it for a very long time. We were hesitant in doing it because some of the payment gateways allowed it, already doing it, so we weren't sure if you want to have it in Sylius directly. But recently we decided that this is the right moment to do so. So subscriptions will become a Plus plugin. I can tell you that they have already become that plugin because also a lot of work was done during current sprint. So the plugin is already done. And if you're interested in testing it or seeing the demo, again, reach out to us. So the subscriptions and recurring orders will be a new Plus plugin, and the announcement will be soon, and the plugin will become official very, very soon. Do you want to add anything on the tech side, Piotrek? I think subscriptions are quite interested in terms of development, right? It's quite challenging.
Right, it's quite challenging, but for now I can say now subscription will be handled directly inside the Sylius. Also, they will be triggered by console command, and we can connect it to cron from the technical side.
Okay. What is more, another step is the B2C fashion project accelerator. So we already did the marketplace, we already did B2B, B2C is next on the step. We're already working on it. If you're interested, you can reach out to us. We can show you a little bit of a sneak peek how it's going to look like. The goal is the same. This time we will focus on the plugins that weren't used in Elesto and in Dafré, which are plugins like multi-store, for example. So the goal would be to create a starter for your typical fashion or not fashion B2C store, again, using Plus plugins and dedicated front-end template to accelerate your project. Piotr, can you share a little bit of news, how it looks like, how it's shaping up?
For now, we just plan it. So I think you finished this topic. We can move to the next one.
Yeah, so maybe the next one is quite technical. So maybe you'll talk a little bit about it, and then I'll also share a business context of it.
Yeah, the next step is advanced customer service workflows. For now, it works like after checkout process, now it's impossible to change something in the order. For example, if someone paid for order, there is not possibility to change something, to modify quantity of order items, and in general, it's difficult to modify it. We want to introduce new features that could add to the admin more options to modify orders, to extend their possibilities on the admin side.
Yeah, I can tell that a lot of people asked about it, whether it's possible for me to edit orders of my customers, how I can do it. So definitely something that a lot of people asked for. So another part is an AI back office assistant, which is something that I'm the most excited for. Why? I'm quite skeptical when it comes to AI, so I'm not the person that want to dive into the hype. And a lot of other Sylius are using it. We're using it a lot in the development. We think it's a great tool, but we're trying not to add AI features just for the hype, and so we can say that we are using AI. We want to add AI that's actually useful, and the back office store assistant is at that moment one of the best options we can do it. So we will create an assistant that will allow you to navigate Sylius admin panel. So for example, you can ask it to set up a certain promotion for you, or configure a variant of a product, or configure a shipping method. So Sylius is a very technical product, and one of our goals is to make it as much as possible easily translatable to business. So the business folk can also use it without need to having a developer behind them to do everything for them. And the role of the assistant is to help non-technical folk also be able to navigate backend comfortably. You want to add anything, Piotr, on that part?
I can say that it will improve content generation. Also, it will be easier to generate SEO content, to make our website visible in Google search, for example. So it will speed up all processes from the admin perspective, and yeah, that's probably all.
Yeah, and as I said, we will be working a lot and learning from Presta, but not only from Presta. There are other platforms that we want to like navigate their ecosystems as well and learn better how they're operating and how we can do it in Sylius. So we also will be working on cross-platform migrator, which is going to be a tool that will allow you to migrate from other platforms to Sylius to do it faster. So if you're stuck with a solution that right now isn't fulfilling all your needs at the moment, and you would like to move and it's limiting you, you're losing money, this tool will be goal to make that acceleration, that migration faster. Piotr, can you share a little bit on that as well?
From my perspective, honestly, we didn't talk a lot about it. We have some plan how to achieve that, but we didn't make a decision in which direction we will move. So for now, I think we have just a business concept how we want to do that.
Okay. Yeah, once we know more, we'll definitely share it with you. There are also 2 points that are not on the roadmap, but that I can share with you today, that we're working on basically changing our store, or maybe writing it again, so rewriting it. The goal is to make store more accessible. We want to add all our courses and everything that we have, the whole academy offer to the store. We want to make it a place where you can interact with all our products or our plugins, and for you to be able to do it seamlessly. So this quarter we'll definitely launch our new Sylius store. We know that the ecosystem and the plugin ecosystem is very important, because if you have more plugins, that's easier for new users to implement projects, to make migrations faster and cheaper. So this is something that we want to definitely do, and new store will help us do it. Also, another thing is that obviously we will be working very closely with the group, with the ecosystem of the group will become part of the CyberFolks group. So we'll be adding integrations with platforms like MailerLite or API for example, right? And in terms of what we're planning, this is the roadmap for now. Will definitely change, it will definitely expand, but those stuff that I mentioned, we will deliver them 100%. And we should do it within a quarter or maximum of 2 quarters, because something more interesting might come up in the future. So for us, this is it. We have talked to you about everything. What we did last year, what we're planning right now. This webinar was longer than the last one, so that means that we did more stuff. Hopefully the next one is going to be even longer, and I have a feeling it will be. So yeah, a room for the questions. I'll be watching in the chat, and I'll try to give the questions to either me or Piotr. Just let us know, what would you like to know.
Yeah, as I see, there were some questions like, when will you release your events for 2026? And here I have answered that stay tuned. We will inform you in the next weeks about it. But now the information is not released yet.
If you go to sylius.com and /events, I believe so, there are already information about some of the events that we'll be present on. But yeah, we're still planning this year in terms of smaller meetups. I saw that Stefan mentioned here in the chat that he'll be organizing meetup in Germany, in Mannheim. So we'll add all those meetups once we have dates. We're not planning anything for February and for January, because there are a lot of people on holidays right now. So it doesn't make sense for us to plan it right now. But I can tell you that there's already a French meetup planned for March, and we will announce it very, very, very soon.
Okay, I see next question is, will this webinar recording be provided? And yes, it will be safe here.
Yeah, you'll you'll be able to access it from our YouTube channel as well as a normal video once the webinar is done and processed. I don't think it's a question, but maybe something you can talk about, Piotr. So being first on the MCP is great, but please outline Sylius core strengths of the leading Symfony framework. So not to clutter Sylius with more functionalities and still Sylius being lean and flexible. So I guess, Piotr, we can tell that we don't want to clutter Sylius with functionalities. We want to offer additional options, but we want to still keep Sylius lean, right?
Yes, as Symfony, Sylius start really open for customization, and we are not closed in here. We want to give opportunity instead of give obligation to someone to do something.
Yeah. I see another question is, do you already have plan for Sylius version 3? God, no, we don't. I mean, there was a lot of work with Sylius 2.0. We made a lot of changes. There's still a lot of plugins that need to be updated. So no, we're currently not planning Sylius 3.x. And if we will plan it, we'll probably make less changes compared to 2.0. We needed to make a lot of changes to 2.0 to tackle the potential legacy. Yeah, that's why we did it. But right now there are no plans, right, Piotr?
Yeah, we have no plans for now. There is another question. If we are open for part-time intern roles, happy to share my CV portfolio. I think for now, I would like to invite you to become a contributor of Sylius ecosystem. And after that, you can become key contributor, and then probably there is opportunity. But for now, I want to encourage you to start from being our contributor.
Yeah, and join our Slack. If you're not on our Slack, you should definitely join our Slack. This is the best way, as a developer or not, to start, becoming part of our community. The same question from the same person is, can someone without Polish work for Sylius? Obviously, yes. Like for an outside contributors, we have people from France, we have people from Germany, we used to have people from Moldavia, Denmark. So open source has no language limits, I would say. So definitely yes. Another question is, what's the cost of Dafré plugin, and how much of the base complexity can it handle, excluding customizations? For example, 80% of standard core functionality. So in terms of pricing, we actually still didn't create the pricing. Like, we didn't create it yet. I can tell you that it's going to be around 20% increase if you want to buy it with the front end over the plugins that are there. So I think for a store under 10 million euros, it's going to start around 10,000 euros yearly for the Dafré. But again, we want to be flexible, so it's very case specific, like size of your customer, etc., etc. Please reach out to me over email, Peter. I will be happy to chat with you to create a tailored price for your customer. But I think it starts around 10K. And how much of the base complexity can it handle, excluding customization? Piotr, so it still navigates as a normal Sylius store, right? So it can be implemented to B2B, right? If I understand correctly, it's still Sylius instance fully, right?
Yeah, it's based on top of Sylius, and everything is done in Sylius standard. It means, for example, for classes and services, there are interfaces. So customization process is so easy to do, and there is no limitation in this area.
Yeah, exactly. And if you want to use B2B plugin and also to use it with marketplace, and instead of having vendors in your marketplace, having organizations, you can do it as well, right?
Right. There is another question as I see. What are advantages for key contributors? Do they have access to Sylius Plus plugins for free? And yeah, maybe Przemek, you can start.
Yeah. So what are the advantages of key contributors? You're contributing to the. It's not a paid position, I'd say. You're contributing to the open source solution that you're working on. You will be recognized in all our media events, etc., etc. You will have free access to the SyliusCon, a conference that we are doing every year. So you will become a part of it. But the most important part for me, if I would become a key contributor, is that I have an actual impact on a product that I'm working with. So imagine there is a tool that you're using every day and someone else is designing it for you, and you see that you think that the tool can be used a little bit differently because you're using it every day, and you can bring that feedback, and that feedback can be implemented. So for me, this is the biggest advantage. In a moment, I'll let Piotr tell his perspective, but regarding the Plus plugins, no, the contributors don't have access to Sylius Plus plugins for free. The agencies, our partners that join us, they receive access to Plus plugins, but only for the demo purposes. So if you're a Sylius agency, you will receive access to all the Plus modules, including Dafré, Elesto, so you can play with them, create demos for your customers, learn them, etc., etc.
Yes, I would add just, in my opinion, the biggest advantage, the biggest benefit from being a key contributor is you have a real impact to shape the product. Also, core team we as a core team have meeting with our key contributors, so we discuss about the future of the platform. We can exchange our ideas, and as I said, we can make feedback loop faster, so they have real impact of direction that we go with our platform.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you
yeah, please, Piotr.
sorry, are you planning to translate the documentation into other languages?
Yeah, we do. We already translated Sylius into more languages last year with usage of AI. This is way easier than it used to be. So definitely, yes, that would be the goal, to make Sylius as accessible as possible. For example, right now we see more and more people from Spanish community reaching out to us. So the goal would be to have Sylius documentation in as many languages as possible. Another question is, do you have a solution to migrate an application on Sylius 1 to Sylius 2? So maybe this is the moment to talk a little bit about legacy bridge. You already talked a little bit about it, Piotrek, but maybe a reminder to the person who asked that question.
Yeah. In the documentation, you can find migrate guide, a lot of hints that you can use to migrate to Sylius 2. But also we introduced legacy bridge. It works like a plugin which use your old templates from Sylius 1. As in Sylius 1, without writing it to tweak hooks. So it simplify a lot of things related to adapting your templates. So this is legacy bridge. Also, I would like to encourage you to see my video from Toulouse, when I also had a presentation about how to migrate to Sylius 2. And there is a specific order how to migrate in the most efficient way. We upgraded a lot of plugins in Sylius, so I shared this knowledge with community, and there you can find the information. Probably someone can send the link on the live chat to this presentation.
Yeah, exactly. And the final question is there any way to detect whether a website is built with Sylius? Yes, the best way is to use a web crawler called BuildWith, but it's not always effective. Sometimes when people are using Sylius headless, it's not always detecting Sylius, but I would recommend using BuildWith, and this is how we track it as well. But I can tell you that it's not always 100% right when it comes to whether the platform is using Sylius or not. Okay, I saw that there is a link in the chat regarding the plugin that you mentioned and the topic that you mentioned, Piotrek. So I think this is it for the live. I think we answered all the questions. Maybe let's wait another 30 seconds if someone still has something to ask to change their mind. There is a little bit of a delay between the chat and between what I see. So that's why it's a second. Yeah, talk to you soon, Peter. Thank you for asking questions. We'll catch up soon. Okay, so Peter asked about update on the current status of Zulu. Partnership with the Zulu Shine, where does it beat Storyblock? So we're in very good contact with Zulu team. We are from the beginning, both platforms are using Symfony. We recommend using Zulu very heavily, but so we will keep working closely with Zulu. There are a lot of projects that we're doing together. There are also a lot of events that we're attending together, so you can expect folks from Zulu appearing on Sylius community and the other way around. But where does Zulu shine? From my perspective, it shines the best for very complex projects. It can be an overkill for medium projects with more standard needs. Where does it beat Storyblock? It's not really a question for me. I'm not a CMS expert, I would say. There is a debate on the last SyliusCon. It's on our YouTube between a few CMSs where you should use which one. Patrick will send you a link, or I can send you a link over email, Peter, to check it out. But to know exactly where Zulu beats Storyblock, I think you should reach out to Thomas and the Zulu crew. Piotrek, do you have anything to add? Maybe you work with Zulu, you have like more tech perspective than I do.
I worked, but everything what you said, that's true, and I have nothing to add. It's more complex for more complex cases. So I think you're right.
Yeah. Okay.
As I see, there is no questions.
Okay. So we're coming to an end. Moving to final slide. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being with us. Thank you for deciding to spend the time with us. For a lot of people, hopefully, who will watch it later on the YouTube, if you have any questions and you weren't able to be there with us, please either write them on the comments or join our Slack, drop them there, or drop them on our contact at our website. I would be happy to tackle any business topics, and Piotr would be happy to answer all the tech-related questions. So we already thanked the audience. Piotr, thank you for taking the time and hosting the webinar with me.
Thank you, Przemek. Thank you to everyone who was watching this live stream. It was really enjoyable for me to talk to you today.
Yeah, and I think we'll have a seriously good year of 2026. Sorry for the terrible joke. Cheers, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.